Noah, the Ark, and the Flood. The earth was filled with violence and corruption. The thoughts of the human heart were only evil all the time. The creation God had declared very good now groaned under the weight of wickedness. But there was one different man. His name was Noah. The Bible describes him this way: Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah wasn't perfect, but he chose the path of righteousness in a world racing the opposite direction. God looked at the earth and saw how corrupt it had become. All the people on earth had corrupted their ways. So he said to Noah, "I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am going to destroy them with the earth." But God did not act without warning. He gave Noah an impossible-sounding task. "Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in it and coat it with pitch inside and out." God gave exact measurements: 300 cubits long, 50 wide, 30 high. A massive vessel, like a 3-decked ship, with a window above and a door in the side. Noah heard, obeyed, and began to build. Picture the scene: an old man, far from any sea, hammering wood, raising towering walls while neighbors mocked, asked what he was doing, and laughed at his madness. But Noah kept going. He walked with God, and that was enough. God said, "I am going to establish my covenant with you. You will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you." And more. Noah was to bring into the ark representatives of every kind of animal, clean and unclean, male and female, to keep them alive. Also, every kind of food for them and for his family. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. When the time came, Noah was 600 years old. God said, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation." And they entered: Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. The animals came, 2 of every unclean kind, 7 pairs of the clean and of the birds, and entered the ark. Then the Lord shut the door. It began to rain. Not ordinary rain, but the floodgates of the heavens opened, and the springs of the great deep burst forth. Water came from above and below. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life died: people, animals, birds. Only Noah and those with him in the ark were left. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. Then God remembered Noah and sent a wind over the earth. The waters receded. In the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. In the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Noah opened the window and sent out a raven, which flew back and forth. Then he sent a dove, which returned because it found no place to set its feet. 7 days later, he sent the dove again, and it returned with a freshly plucked olive leaf. Noah knew the waters had receded. 7 more days, he sent the dove once more, and it did not return. God spoke to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives with you. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, so they can multiply and fill the earth." Noah built an altar and offered sacrifices of clean animals. The pleasing aroma rose to the Lord, who said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done." Then God established his covenant with Noah and with all living creatures. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. As the sign of this everlasting covenant, God set the rainbow in the clouds. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between you and all living creatures of every kind on the earth.
What does this story speak to our hearts? The world can fill with violence and corruption, but God always sees those who walk with him. Noah didn't change the entire world. He obeyed in the midst of chaos, built what seemed absurd, and preserved life. Faithful obedience, even when no one understands, can save not only oneself, but those around. The ark represents refuge in the midst of judgment. God warns, gives time for repentance, but the moment comes when the door is shut. The waters rose, but inside the ark there was safety, provision, and companionship. When everything seems lost, God remembers us. He does not forget his people. The rainbow is not just beauty after the storm, it is a promise that God's mercy is greater than his wrath. He chooses to remember the covenant, not the corruption. Even knowing the human heart remains inclined to evil, God decides never to destroy everything again. There is hope. Life can begin anew, multiply, and fill the earth. Pause for a moment. Think of the floods in your own life, times when chaos seems to submerge everything. God still sees those who walk with him. He still builds arks of salvation, warns, provides, shuts the door to protect, and opens the way to a new beginning. The rainbow that appears after the rain is a reminder: judgment passes, but the covenant remains. Walk with God, even when the world mocks. The obedience of one can preserve life for many. If this story spoke to your heart, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel and follow every chapter of the Bible told as powerful, easy to understand stories. Leave a like, share with someone who needs to hear this message, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes. See you in the next chapter.